Okay, let's do some Go programming. I want to get that game to a point where I can kind of use it, and maybe tonight, if I get it working good enough, tonight maybe we'll try playing it. But we will be doing work in Linux. Yeah, looks like that works. We're gonna have to do some refactoring, change up a few things, but yeah, that's the basis of it. Yeah. Golang today. I want to see if I can get that working well enough to play it. I can't play any videos. Okay, what browser are you using? Oh, I'm using Mulvad Iceweasel. Come on, man. That's your problem. Use a different browser. Okay, let's switch over to Linux. Actually, no, I don't want Chrome. Because Chrome is infected with AI bullshit now. Oh, also on my website, I was having a problem that the controls for videos weren't showing up. And I would like periodically go and try to figure it out, you know, just real quick. Like, okay, I got to figure this out. And then couldn't figure it out. And it was because I didn't tell it to add the controls. I had video instead of video controls. So yeah, that would explain why there's no controls. There you go. Do I dual boot? Dual boot? No. I have a separate computer. So like, that's Windows, that's Linux. Windows, Linux. I have a button on my Stream Deck that switches it for me. Okay, cool. God damn it. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so it is working for the most part. I need to refactor it. To use the modules. Yeah. Living the dream. Yeah, me too. Yeah, up at 10. Wait, did I already do this? Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, so let me first. Let's make a module. What are we gonna call it? Let's call it app for now. Okay, and then there's some. Let's do. What's the other one? Config settings. Yeah, that'll work. Probably the easiest is let's just do that for now. Then we're gonna have to make a let's call it game. That should be fine. I thought I'd make a simple script to combine images together to create a bit palette from the source images, but there's so many assumptions and input choices for any random image. Oh, okay, yeah. And also a lot of image libraries aren't very good, you know? Like they're very hard to work with. I don't know what is up with like image and graphics people, man, but they just can't make stuff easy to use. And then they'll weirdly go, oh, it's impossible. It's impossible. And then you run into someone who does it well. And you're like, it's not impossible. This API is very easy to use, you know? Like, Vulkan's this monstrous mess. NRVHI. Pretty easy to use. It's straightforward. Yeah, no problem. Do basically the same thing. Okay. So now, let me think. Yeah. Let's do this. This will get us started. And, you know, let's do... Again, then we can stop doing this kind of this global thing. Yeah, that'll make it a bit easier. All right, so now we have to probably run the compiler. And it'll tell us. And then I can start kind of moving some stuff around. This is totally wrong. Totally wrong. I have to figure out how to do that for real. Yeah, so then this part can be something else. Okay. I have completely forgot how to do that. Hold on. Let me go. Go specification. I suppose I don't even have to do that. Hey, what's there? Oh, okay. I am doing it right. All right. I'm just being stupid. So there we go. Let's confirm it runs, and we can start moving some stuff around. Okay, first things first. So now, let me see. So I want config load to return the configuration, and then I pass that to the game. And we use that to configure the game, instead of having like kind of a global thing. What game I'm making? It's based on this one I did in C++. I call it Turing's Tarpit. It basically watches me code, and if I make too many errors, then I reset my code and I try again. Pretty simple, but the idea is if you have too many errors while you're programming, that means the code is probably junk. It's actually pretty well established. Also, the size of your commit is another indicator that there's probably bugs. Yeah, okay, so now okay, the goal is to get rid of that. It's a good pattern for, like, you know, quick 200-300 lines, but eventually it just kind of runs out of its. Yeah, because then these things can be taken out. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm supposed to do it that way. It's probably copying a bunch of shit around, but that's fine. Okay, so that you can configure it with the settings. Then we'll start pulling these things out. Got it, and then replace. Confirm it works. Okay, cool. Okay, so now, let me see. I wonder if I should move the compiled regex out. Yeah, probably. That? No. Let's put that there. I'm really kind of skeptical about doing this because I suspect if you have more than one process, it's going to fail. This is the way the regex library is designed. So I may just ditch that and just compile it every time. Yeah, so that, we'll move that out. Okay. Okay. And also HP. And let's see what else we got. Gleam? Do you like Gleam? I played with Gleam briefly. I was not really into the not into the recursive stuff. I find that stuff to be incredibly annoying. Oh no. No. I hate this song. Alright, make a game, do that. Oh, right. Let's skip this raging turd. Okay. Go is extremely easy to refactor. Awesome. Okay, now we can start fixing some stuff. Probably still have to move a few things. I might move the parsing stuff out. Move it out of the game. But for now we can do this. Okay, so now we can do... Yeah, so see, now I can do this. You know, and what I'll do is okay. Game errors, game HP. Yeah, that'll work better. And eventually I'll be using, I should probably just keep that error info. Because what I'm going to start doing is keeping track of like the lines where you have an error. Probably also having like a begin and end. Yeah, we can get rid of that part too. Let's compile this. You like the strong pattern matching? Yeah, Erlang's VM is top notch. And but yeah, pattern matching is good too. I mean, there's nothing bad in it. It's just like I'm not against recursion at all. Like, it's very useful. But if all you have is recursion, I just don't like languages where they have the one thing, you know? Almost every time you have a language where that's their thing, it almost always ends up being the thing that holds the language back, right? But people don't realize it until, you know, years. They've been using it for years, and they're like, oh man, this is just so annoying having to figure out recursion patterns just to process some text, you know, things like that. I much prefer languages where, yeah, it's flexible. You can use recursion, you can use for loops, you can use whatever you like, whatever works. Okay, make the game, parse the error info. Yeah, I'll kind of like move this stuff around as we work on it, but I think that's good because there's the game and then there's sort of like the process, you know, the runner. That I'll probably separate those two, and then there'll be a GUI. Okay, did this build? Awesome. Okay, and then where's build running? Okay, since I know that this is not smart, yeah, let's do it this way. All right, so that'll give kind of like a transactional thing, and then I can do it correctly without having to rewrite everything. Is that right? I think I'm fucking up that logic. Also, this is spelled wrong. Right, we'll go and see channels, some kind of simple locking primitive, something like that. Okay, build running. No, this is wrong. Yeah, let's just be weird. We're gonna do this. Don't be fancy. Fancy is too hard to figure out early in the morning. Okay, so they come in. It's not building. We flip it to build running and return true. That way the if goes off, and then everyone else, we say false. All the other calls do nothing. Awesome. And then end build running is false. Okay, that should work. Action. Let's see. Sorry, YouTube episode 1 and catch up. Yeah. I just have to edit them. So for YouTube, you kind of have to cut out a lot of the, like, talking to people, things like that. Random tangents. Right, let me see if I did that right. Okay, apparently I just made number 2. It's kind of too fast to test, but it seems to be okay. Actually, probably the easiest way to test that. Let's go up here and just confirm. Right. Yeah, Go is so fast on Linux that I can't test this. I have to go to Windows to actually confirm it. Okay, good. Yeah, it's only running at once. All right, good. Okay, now we can start doing a lot better. Kind of running the process will be easier. I can separate out probably the build runner. Yeah, most likely separating the game from the thing that runs the processes. We'll work on it this way for now. Because again, I probably have to have the game backend, the process running stuff, and then there's going to be the GUI, right? Whatever the front end is. Okay, cool. That'll work. Okay. I would like to just work in the one file, so let's do this. Let me see what that takes. It probably needs the game. That's part of the game. I don't know, is it time to actually just sort of make the directory and kind of clean this out? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I know what's up with my Vim, man. I gotta go figure that out. Okay, we're gonna make a bigger change. For lack of a better name. Okay. So parsing the error info goes over there. Take a hit as part of the game. Launching the logger. That's there. Launching the process is in the builder. Matching the path, beginning the build, ending the build. Yeah, the vast majority of the work so far has been in the build, so. Adding the watch directory. Watching the directory. Okay. Okay, and then it's not on game. What is it on? Okay, so the only thing I have to sort out is where or how do I do that? Okay, let's comment that out for now. Okay. Change that to Alright, everybody, we got an ad starting in a few seconds. It's 3 minutes, and then there's a whole hour. No interruptions. So I'm going to take a short break during the ads. Continue this refactoring, and then after that, let's try the TUI. Let's see if I can get a bit of a front end working on this. So we'll probably try out a few TUI libraries out there. There's so many for Go, and then see which one kind of works best. Kind of looking for smaller, so we'll look at Bubble Tea, but I think maybe we'll find something smaller. Okay, I'll leave that there. It's not quite done yet, but all right, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. moved all this over. Builder. Everything's builder now. Okay. I need make builder. No, I shouldn't have to import that. I do need to import a bunch of other stuff, though. Let's just grab all that. Actually, I think probably only format here. But maybe what's the way you do it? Yeah, I have to look up how people commonly do that. And it should return a pointer to a builder. Okay. And we need now, let's see. Now, Ashburn. Hey, welcome to the chat. Let me see. Question, according to which is better, Mac or PC for coding? It really doesn't matter. Just use whatever one you have. Don't waste a bunch of money on a new computer. It's not going to make you better at programming. Later on, like if you're working on something that is easier on a computer. So like, let's say you're making iPhone apps. Phone apps in general, probably just use a Mac. If you're doing a bunch of server code programming, Linux is going to be way better. Macs are generally pretty good. The problem with Apple is that they've kind of started to make it so that their desktop laptop computers are mostly just machines for making iPhone apps. So they kind of don't support, they do, but they not as much as they used to support like programming for other things. So back in the day, you used to be able to get all the tools you needed. You'd have to sign any license agreements or pay any money. And then they switched to like, now you have to agree to stuff just to get Git and a compiler. So it's not like it used to be. It's still serviceable. You can still use it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's best to just find the computer. When you start out, just use what you got. Every computer will work. And then later, if you start getting into a particular kind of programming, then use the computer that works best for that. So for example, if you want to make games or desktop apps for Windows computer. You want to make server programs, backends, websites, stuff like that. Linux is usually better because that's where your stuff's going to go anyways, right? And then if you want to make apps for like Android or iPhone, like phones, just Macs have become the phone app system. So just get that. And that doesn't mean if you get a Mac, it's only good for phones. It's just that's what it's really made for. And then you can do everything else. Same with Windows. I do back-end programming on Windows. But it is a lot easier on Linux. And then if you go to make a game on Linux, it used to be real murder. It's like really terrible to make a game on Linux, but that's getting a lot better. It's getting to be where like, I don't know, man. I think in the future, a lot of game devs are just going to use Linux. My experience with just doing some simple stuff on Linux is it's gotten way, way better. Way better. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some I think I'm gonna have to do this. I gotta find some way to kinda I gotta connect the game to the build. Do some drawing. Yeah, we can do that. Still believe drawing or painting. Let me see. Okay, we do new. Parse error. Okay, and then we need to change. I think that'll. Yeah, so this part, we have to make that part work. Okay, let's do this. Oh yeah, error info needs to be moved. Nice. Must have some allergies or something that's going on, man. Probably have to change the filter in my AC again. Valve's owed so much kudos for making Linux gaming story what it seems poised to be over the next few years. Oh yeah, totally. Even just like Linux desktop, the work they're doing, like because of that, I might switch to Linux instead of Windows 11, because if all of my Windows apps run under Valve stuff, then I'm good. That's it, you know? I mean, Linux on desktop for about 17 years. It's wild how far I've come. Yeah, and also within just like a year, right? Like just last year, it seems like, bam, suddenly like all these games run perfectly on Linux and like run better. And I was messing with Vulkan, and on Linux, Vulkan and all the graphics, APIs, everything just worked perfectly. Boom, Vulkan's done. And then I go over to Windows and it's hell. I'm installing like libraries that don't work and adding shit to the path. It's like a nightmare. Okay, let me see. All right, we need to get rid of that. God. Let's see, currently playing Valheim on Fedora KDE. Works wonderfully. Yeah, yeah. And like, who would have thought like there'd be translation layers for like every DirectX Microsoft has made, translating it to Vulkan. Like, I love it. I love it, man. So now if they can I'm just waiting for Valve to get pissed off at sound. and then we're good. Just be like, sound sucks. Windows is an afterthought. Is it totally new this decade? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right, man. Like, I think Microsoft and also Apple, I think they just went crazy. And when you lose the developers, man, you're fucked. Microsoft knew that. We all saw the incredibly famous, Steve Ballmer, developers, right? And we all saw that. Because it was true, man. If you don't have programmers making stuff for your platform, it dies. So Apple, I mean, come on, man. They removed the escape key. Like, what the fuck? Stupid little strip bar at the top. They just slowly degrade their platforms until people are like, the Mac's not very useful, right? And then you get high profile exits. People stop using your platform. The only thing they use it for is making phones. Pretty soon then Kotlin gets strong enough. So where like, hey, why would I want to use a Mac? I can just do it on Kotlin, right? And then Microsoft with their, I believe their developer tools have kind of degraded over time. The OS has started to get shit. And then they're going to start make people log in. So they're like, what's driving Google or Microsoft insane is they want to compete with Google. They can't online in a fair competition. So what are they doing? They're doing the same thing Google's doing with their AI. They're like, well, we got this operating system. Let's just turn that into the web browser. So if we turn Windows into a web browser, and then we win, because now the whole OS tracks you like Google gets to track you in their browser, right? So the best way to describe Microsoft screwing up Windows is they want it to be Chrome. They want the whole operating system to be their Chrome. So that way they can say, see, we're winning Internet 2 investors. Buy our stock options. We're beating Google at Internet. And it's a marketing platform than it is an operating system. Yeah, at this point. And I think they just don't get it. Like people just don't want that at all. I'm trying to think how best to do this. I might have to change a bit of an architecture here and there. Okay, this might be where, like, changing it up to use channels would be better, but... Okay, let's do this, just to kind of get it working. And actually, should I make it separate? Game. hopefully that's fine. What I'm typing on, it's a happy hacking keyboard. It's just all right. But the reason it sounds good is because the way I mic it, I mic it kind of like you would a weird. The way you would an acoustic guitar. So I put a special like piezo mic on it. Never understood that. So how do I get this? It's always been really weird with Go, man. Right? Because if I have a game here, how do I add... yeah, it's always really bothered me about the way they do the... I mean, I guess I can just make a game package, but it's kind of lame. Yeah, how do I reference that type? It's one of the reasons why I create like a data package and then everything can just use it. Yeah, how would you solve that problem? Weird. So you're rocking a Kinesis Advantage 2? Yeah, it'd probably work. Here, I'll tap the mic so you can actually hear the difference. So that's just that. And the piezo mics, they kind of work on just vibrations. So that's why you don't hear like me talking or anything else. Yeah, how the fuck do you get that? They never ever run into this? Alright, I guess we're going all in. Yeah, how would you do that? I have a theory on Go's package management. Let's just say, I believe the person who came up with it is very into being in power. The best way to put it. Sure, why not? It's like everything about it is very much Go and Google is in charge. Like they get this and you have to do that. Right. Your shit is relegated to some outback. Okay, so the communication here is going to have to be worked a bit. New game that way. Okay, and then that should be fine. And then build builder go. Now we can do game.game and we can include game. There we go. Right. There, that's fine. Working in multiple files is kind of annoying, but whatever. Let me look. Oh yeah, we need format. Found packages game and main. Is that an error? That's not an error, is it? Yes, that is correct. You have found that. Okay. Import cycles are not allowed. Builder. Builder, game doesn't need builder. So let me, where's game? Hold up. What are you talking import cycles? Imports builder. That's not a fucking cycle. Do you not know how a cycle works, Google? Yeah, this imports nothing. That's not a cycle. What are you talking about? This imports something separate, and that is separate. Are they thinking that if you have the same import in more than one file, it's a cycle? What are you talking about? Yeah, this is totally fine. This is a separate compilation unit. So if I import builder here, you compile it and then fuck off. And then if I import game from build, you compile it and fuck off. Like that's not a cycle. What are you talking about? Is Go concatenating all the source code together? They're concatenating the source code. It have to be. Why would you call that a cycle? Are you serious? So how do you possibly connect two things together? I have to reference a type here. Yeah, that would mean you wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing here, right? I make a thing and I pass it to this thing, and then that thing needs it because I need the thing here and in there. I need the thing in two places, so how would you possibly avoid a cycle? What the fuck are you talking about? So I can't, what? What are you talking about? Hold on, this is, no. Builder imports game. Yeah, because it needs game. What the fuck? Hold on. That's not an wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so then game. I think the error message is bad. That error message has to be wrong. Hold on. I don't import jack shit here. Hold up, wait, this is weird. I'm not importing anything here. How is there a cycle here? Game doesn't import. Oh, this is so dumb. Go imports builder from main.go and then imports game from build.go. No, I don't import game from build.go. What are you talking about? Well, if I get rid of that, then I don't have the type. What the fuck? What the fuck? Found packages game and main. Yeah, no shit. That's the package. Congratulations, Captain Obvious. What the fuck is going on? That is weird, man. Why is that an error? I see you're walking. Yeah, I'm walking. What's wrong with that? Oh, man. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I'm going to make a types directory, I guess. Data. What the fuck? Okay, let's do that. What is this error? What file is that? Yeah. An engine should be game. Yeah, here's engine. It's in packaged game. And main. Found packages game and main. No shit. Did I throw something into the game directory maybe? Hold up. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense. Well, that error message is... Why is that error message there? No, that's not the error message. The error message is you have two files declare. You have this file is declaring package main, and also this file is declaring package main. Choose one. That's the error message. Oh my god, that is... So somehow I accidentally did that, which probably causes the cycle. Yeah, it's just better to have a data directory because everything needs data, right? All the data structures have to be in like different parts. It's so sensitive to cycles. You can't solve that cycle. I think what just drives me nuts is there's all sorts of languages that have that. They claim they can't figure out a cycle, but it's a finite space, right? Like even if you had like thousands of files, it's finite. A computer can solve this. And then there's a whole sorting algorithm called topological sort. So you build the graph, you have the cycles, you topological sort it, cycles go away, you're done, right? And then that's it. So you can either detect the cycles and break them, and then if you just basically do something the way like C++ does or C, where you say an import only happens once, that solves all your cycles. But yeah, I remember F#. You had to do that. You had to get your source code in the right order. Yeah, see? So you can't... Okay. You can't import game. So then how the fuck do you... Okay, no, this is fine. I'm in the wrong file here. Okay. And then I need... Yeah, don't import yourself. That makes sense. And then builder is undefined here. All right, we're going to have to make a separate directory, man. Builder is what I need. Yeah, because the types are shared among them. Okay, and then here, I can bring game back. So the actual issue was there was just a... no, you can't have... What is this no cycles bullshit? As to how do you have types between two things? That's fucking stupid. Does the package need to be unique for files inside a directory? Yeah. So within the directory, all the files have to have the same type. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with their module system. You can do other things too, like you can have a variable shadow it. So I could have a variable named game. You know, I can do that. And if I have a package game, goes like, cool, yeah, that works. So I've been bit by that a few times. That should be a hard error. Like that should be like, nope, there's a package named that already. And I think it's mostly because they bolted it on later and didn't really look at what existed. Just, I think Russ Cox just came out and was like, here's your packages, shut up. So everyone used it. Okay, so imports game from build.go. Yeah, because build.go needs the fucking game. Hold on. Am I just like, hold on. Okay, ls build. Yes. Yeah, they're all separated out. All right. Yeah, we're just gonna pull these types out into a common directory. And yeah, that's some fucking bullshit. Because yeah, how would you would run into that all the time. You would need like one type from this place and one type from that place. Yeah, how would you possibly code like that? If I'm gonna, you know, I gotta figure this out. Packages can't do import cycles and go. No, it's not even an import cycle though. They're calling it an import cycle, but it's not, right? An import cycle would be if within Builder, right? I tried to import Builder. There you go. That's a cycle, right? An import cycle like this, this means that they are not compiling this file. So this file here is a separate compilation unit. Everything within that should be compiled. It imports the stuff, and that's it. Boom, done. And then what you do is when you import something, it's marked as imported, the end, right? So then if you run into that import again, you go, nope, just use that other one. So they're probably, when you run into this, is when the compiler writers are doing like concatenation. So what they're doing is they're basically creating one gigantic file. So then you can't have cycles. Well, you still can. You just put the file at the beginning. Yeah, all of this is solved, man. This is totally solved. So what this means is you can't have data. So like I can't use this struct from this package in other parts of my... Yeah, how the hell do you even do that? Also, I'm not importing that. No, I'm not making a cycle. The builder imports game. Because it needs access to that. That makes sense. Right? So for it to be a cycle, if I go into game engine... Ah, there it is. Yeah, because I need error info. Yeah, so you have to make a types directory. You just have to make some kind of data directory. You're going to run into that all the time. Wow. $3 trillion. They can't solve a 3-file. And also, no, that's really stupid. That's incredibly stupid. So really this should be, that should be data. Yeah, you have to do that. Oh my God, man. Okay, so then we come over here. That goes there. So you put builder in this, and then everyone imports data. Data imports nothing. It's just a pure thing. Yeah, that's really stupid. That is easily solved. That's been solved by so many programs. And I love how like every language that does that, they're like, it's impossible. And then I go over to make. Make from the 70s solves it. It's called topological sort. Okay, launch process. Where's the error type? No, error info. Info. Okay, so game builder is part of that, and then game is part of this. Yeah. Settings is shared. That's shared. And then this should be data. Okay, so that gets that. Is there anything else that should probably be pulled out? Let's do config. Process is fine. Okay, we'll figure that out. We'll move that around. Variatus system. Let's see. I never understood why a modern language would prohibit cycle imports. It's not that difficult to solve. It isn't. It isn't. It's just people being lazy. Yeah, the two tricks you do to solve it is one, you make every import item potent, so they happen only once. So then anything, and they just happen only once, and anything that references it just references the one, right? And you just do it in two passes, right? Figure out what the import is, import everything, it's done once, and then the graph just goes away. And then the second thing you do is something called topological sort. So topological sort basically takes a graph and then sorts it linearly. And then so once you do that, there's only like a couple of things that can't be solved. And I bet you anything, there's probably a cycle I could construct where it wouldn't be able to detect it. That's the other thing, is every time a language does that, you'll run into all sorts of situations where they can't detect the cycle. Right. So basically, if you can detect the cycle, you can solve it. The easiest way to explain it. If you can detect it, you can solve it. But they're just lazy and overpaid and lazy. Okay, so now I should be able to see, so I have to do it that way. Game.game. Yeah, see, now I can't use that. There we go. That really needs to be an error, man. That really needs to be an error. Oh yeah, and then we have to make this a pointer. There we go. And then this needs to be data error info. There we go. Let's see, Burdens. I run into this all the time at work. You end up with packages like that for shared structures. Yeah. That's the only way you can solve it, right? It's like, how else are you gonna? Yeah, how else are you gonna store the data? And I'm kind of curious how Google does it, because they have things like there's a, file IO is inside IO. They're clearly sharing things between them. How are they solving that problem? Because with the size of the standard library, they've got to have that problem. How are they running into it? Yeah, weird. Yeah, and a context-free modern grammar. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's context-free, right? So every compilation unit at that point, you should be able to determine an import. And as long as you're making the imports idempotent across the entire, either the compile unit or the whole program, then any reference to it, you don't process it again. You just go, it's that one, and you're done. Last time I tried using Go, I was running into issues like this and just stopped. I've been happily coding Rust in production for the last few months. But the simplicity of Go definitely has it. Yeah, see, it's the simplicity for me, right? Obviously, it's too simple to figure out the simple cycle graph, right? Also, I feel like there's like this. So when I made that, my first reaction was, right? Because in C++, something like this means you got something messed up, right? There's something wrong you're doing. But probably in Go, this is just, I've done this multiple times in Go, and I'm like, no, I think this is just how you have to solve that. You just have to make a data module, you know? And I wonder how Google solves that problem. Okay, all right, so now we have a nice clean main. It's kind of annoying. I don't like stuff being spread across multiple files so early, but I think it's time. I think in Golang, 200 lines of code is a lot. And make it easier to clean that up. Okay, but also I feel like that communication is probably not the best. So we'll experiment with that some. Okay. Yeah, maybe something like giving the builder a channel or a callback. So instead of the whole game, maybe giving it a callback. Where does that take hit? Yeah, here. That's the only place it's run. Yeah, I could disconnect those by making it a callback. Yeah. That might be the better way to do it. I still have to have error info in a separate place, but... Oh, let's do type. Let's say, let's do it that way. Is a function that takes data.error info. Returns nothing. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, this is gonna have the same problem. That fucking sucks. That's the worst. Okay, so then we go back to main. I think that's all we need. Hey, DGs, how you doing? Yeah, okay, so now we don't, now that's nicely decoupled from the build processor. And then we do on air. Oh, that should probably be caps. Hold up. Should it be? Yeah, probably close enough. So I should not need game, I just need data. Oh, no, I need game. Wait, what? I need both. Yeah, okay. I'll have to remember that strategy then. I'm pretty sure people who are studying are going to run into that a bunch. Okay, cool. All right. I like it. Okay, so now everything is in nice little directories. Nice. Okay. Okay, so that'll make it easier because now I can do shit. The thing. The GUI. The TUI. Right. We need to go look at TUI libraries next. Alright, so we got a few to pick from. Let me take a look. I'd like to do something simple. Bubble tea is pretty awesome. I'd like to have something a little lighter. I can't imagine this needing too much, but who knows? Maybe bubble tea is the answer. I just felt like the design of it was pretty heavy-handed. Let's take a look. The fuck is that? Why did it download an HTML page? What is in this HTML page? It's empty? Who is working at GitHub? What the fuck? Just random empty HTML pages getting downloaded. Oh, there's another one. And another one. What the fuck is that? Why are there random HTML pages being downloaded? Vibe coding strikes again? Yeah, look. My directory is full of these randomized. Is this some sort of weird tracking system? Does this happen on Windows? Is there some like, oh no, is there like a weird hack where you can like, oh man. That has to be some JavaScript. Hold on. I don't think that's anything Bubble Tea can do. Okay, weird. All right, well, let's see what we can do. Okay, so we got this. You make a view. IT new program, initial model. Run it. Oh yeah, this is a problem we'll have to solve. Let's see. Apps assume control this internet. You need to run delve in headless mode and then connect to it. Okay, logging stuff. You can't really log to standard out. Your TUI is busy occupying that. Yeah, we'd have to change the log into a file. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the safe choice. Most likely it'll work. Also, extremely hackable. It's definitely written by some Ruby programmers. Okay, let's do go with TUI libraries. Let's see if we can do something a little off-brand. Let's see what the AI says is good. Key view. Let's try it. This might be the one. The demo shows like an ASCII art image. Because I gotta bring back the image. All right, maybe we just do a little shootout, see which one does best. Let's see, hello world. Okay, well, first thing we gotta do is change the logging. So you can just kind of do some formatting there. Yeah, that's nice. When you hit it, you don't get those files? An A/B test. That many times? It's kind of weird. Are you on Linux? I'm kind of curious to watch the traffic on Windows. See if those things are being downloaded, but then Microsoft is like, they altered Windows so that it recognizes those files. Okay, yeah. Let's try T-View to see what it's got. So we have the text view, text area, table, tree list, input field, drop down, checkbox image, Well, I think no matter what library we use, we got to change the logging. Yeah, all right. We'll do the logging. We'll fix that first. Yeah. Okay, I kind of already do this. Where did I do this? There's another. Oh, yeah. This. I think probably just do that. Yeah, that'll work. I shouldn't need that. How was I doing this, though? I think that'll be globally available. Maybe. I might have to move that somewhere. Okay, let's get that. And then let's do yeah, let's do this. Alright, and all of that will get changed up. Alright, let's see if that works. Let's see, Glade Mist. Hello, sorry for a bit off-topic question, but can anyone recommend a good Git course? Way to learn Git? No, it should be simple. No, it's not simple. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's pretty weird to use. But I never saw anyone use it like for real with explanation. I guess I lack a good example, not just mechanically learning commands without feeling the why, what for. Actually, yeah, if you want to know the why, yeah, here you go. Write yourself a Git. Probably extremely educational. Actually, I gotta switch to Windows. Hold on. Now, if you're learning the code, if you just want to use Git, then I can find a separate tutorial. But if you're the kind of person who's like, I have to know why it does what it does, then write yourself a Git. Basically, make a tiny Git, and then you'll know everything. But I think everyone, pretty much the only people who understand Git's design are kernel devs, the people working on Linux. And it's mostly designed for them, and they sort of don't give a shit. So, like, you just use it. Really weird things, like odd decisions all over the place. Like, the default merge policy is really weird. The use of emails to identify people is really weird. Yeah, just very strange. But yeah, this would be where you go. Now, if you just want, like, quick and dirty, let me see. Wasn't there one? Yeah, it's not, this is like okie doke, like okay, but I felt like that was just kind of weird. I don't think Atlassian has a good one. Was it GitLab that had a good one? Maybe Microsoft's is pretty good. They do own GitHub. There was one of these I saw. Okay, let's try these. Okay, all right. So I think this is going to get you started. But then let me look at these other ones. Okay, you might like Microsoft's, because they probably wrote this for like Fortune 500 companies. So it's probably easy to understand. However, Microsoft's hit or miss with their documentation people. Their docs people definitely, sometimes the documentation is fantastic and clearly written by someone who knows how to explain things, and other times it's half-assed, written by someone who failed out of creative writing school and got a job at Microsoft. So hit or miss there. Odin. Yeah, was this the one? Maybe. Okay. Check out the Odin project, maybe. No. See, the Odin project, my problem is they do basically like real half-assed stuff. Like, I really get the feeling a lot of it is just written with AI. No, yeah, this is too thin. This is too thin. It's typical of the Odin project. Like, it's just like real thin, not very well organized. Okay, now if you want to go insane, here's the Pro Git book. This is kind of like the Bible of it. Can't wait for it. You know, honestly, it might be better than some of the things. If Microsoft used AI, it might be better written. Anyways, Glidemist, if you really want to know how it works, then write yourself a Git. That is the thing. When you're done with that, you'll know exactly how it works. And then just keep around like a cheat sheet. So just have like just a little like cheat sheet tells you to do it. I use like maybe 10 commands tops. Now, some places you go work, they go crazy with it. They get really weird, man. Like, oh, you have to rebase across a branch. They have these weird branching policies, and it just gets really crazy after a bit. But for most of your own personal work, I think that's all you need. Okay. Yeah, all right. So we need to... Yeah, it's kind of weird. Interesting. Alrighty, I guess we're going to do one more directory. That seems to be how you solve everything. Shit, how did you do it? I think it was that, right? And that'll give me debug. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, you're welcome, Glade Mist. Let me know how it goes for you too. Like I recommend that to folks, but I've never actually done it. I just know that people who have actually succeed, so just let me know. How the hell do I do that? All right, I gotta look up the. Let's see. Go import. Yeah. No. You know, for a project with 50 documents on modules, they really weirdly skip a lot of stuff. Yeah. Wait, isn't it this? Hold on. Yeah, that. And that should give you access to the contents of it. Hold up, man. It's kind of weird. I mean, come on. I don't want to have to type that shit. Can it just not be all caps? Is that the deal? Huh. That better not be the reason. I'll be real pissed. Although I think I like, yeah, I like that better. Now. What the fuck? I thought you could import that in. Yeah, that if you did that, it imported it into your thing. Oh, what the fuck? That's so dumb. Hold up. Import declarations. Import spec. Right. Import spec. Import spec is dot package name import path. Import path is a string literal. Wait, huh? An explicit period appears instead of a name. All the packages exported identifiers declared in that package. Wait, what? An import declaration declares a dependency relationship between import or a package to import itself directly or indirectly. Oh, okay. That's why they're doing that. Okay, yeah. Okay, dot is what we want. Okay. Yeah, weird, odd. Okay. So that is if you just want to initialize it. So that's where they're doing that. And then if you want to do... I knew they had to have something like that. Okay. There you go. That's what we want. And then we can just do this. And I guess change this. Okay. Let's see, and Skiminator. I've been using it for years, but I only use a few of the commands. I always have to go look up if anything more complicated is required. Yeah. My thing is like, there's sometimes, especially when you're dealing with like merges and stuff, where you just like totally screw things up. And I just delete the directory and start over. Like I don't even bother trying to fix it. I just move on. Oh, so now it's going to be outputting the logs. Okay, cool. That's what we want. So we do this. And then that. Okay. All right, so let's do tmux. Okay, that'll set us up to do, yeah, because we have a log. I suppose I should make that configurable too. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, good. It's working. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Actually, that was what I wanted to do today. I think we'll save the making a TUI for tonight. So tonight, let's play with either we'll do Bubble Tea or we'll do T-View. I'll just see which one is easiest to work with. I think T-View might be a little smaller, a little more straightforward, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe Bubble Tea is fancier, so we can do cool stuff with Bubble Tea. So we'll play with it tonight. So yeah, so what I'll do is we got the logging, everything's set up. So yeah, we'll just kind of design a little TUI for it and make the game. And then we should be able to start playing it soon. And I think probably last thing will be, yeah, making a little SQLite database that stores the stats. So I'll have to come up with what stats to store. Also, I'm kind of curious if like I should have it where there's just like one database and like everything gets put in there. So you can do kind of like your stats across all your projects, right? So you can kind of see like how do you do like better or worse with like one language or another. And all that's up there. So let's switch to Windows. Let's see, Birdmiz. On merges and rebases, knowing that there's a git merge rebase abort that leaves everything as it was before. Is that a new thing? Yeah, I've just always felt like, yeah, the merge process is something Linux likes. That's about it. I don't know anyone who likes the way it does merges. Leaving like that weird junk in your source files. It's like, you can make another file. Like, it's just so weird. It's so weird. But anyways, all right. So let me get you the code to this. Yeah, that thing, and then you can never find them all. Because it's like the worst character to grep for. Like, put it in quotes, look for everywhere that it does it. And then it's also unclear because it's like this, and then that, but then this, and that. Like, oh, okay, I have no idea which one I'm supposed to keep. Yeah, I like working on my projects myself. Oh yeah, so let's pull this real quick. We'll try it out. Okay. All right, cool. It works. All right, everybody. Let me get you links to this code, and I'll find you somebody cool to hang out with after me.